Here's a quick look at how your notebook should be set out. There's really no tables on this one, and I have not shown you plugging the numbers in, because at this stage you should be able to do that on your own. You've got all the two values, my x2, my t2, my v20, that's the initial velocity after the ball bearing hits here. My a2 is how is acceleration as my cart and ball bearing combination slow down. My v2 final, which the cart stops, so you should know what that is. And then I have all my 1 values, the distance up the ramp. Notice again, this distance here, my 0 on the ramp would start right about there. So the distance up the ramp does not exactly match 50, which is where we release it the first time. And I have my final velocity, and when I get to the end of the ramp, I have my initial velocity at the top of the ramp and the acceleration the ramp has. Now note, the numbers in here, if you think you know the formula and you want to take the time, you don't have to. But if you want to take the time and plug these numbers in and see if you get that, that would be a way to check your formulas, assuming I haven't messed it up, or you may get the joy of showing that the teacher messed up. But these numbers are there, but I used bigger masses. When I did the lab, I did 1,000 instead of 500. So my numbers will be somewhat different, but they might be in the same ballpark. But this is the procedure you want to go through. You want to find V20, then you find A2, you find V1F, and I have done you the favor of listing the variables you should use. I don't think I've left any of them out. So part 1, you do all this process, and I find this information. Then I'm going to take a new mass. You're going to add 200 grams or 0.2 kilograms. I added 0.5 when I did the lab because I hadn't tried it to see how it worked yet. And then my new X2, you're going to add 5 centimeters. I think I added more than 5, a little bit more than 5. I added about 8. Okay, so you're only going to add 5 centimeters. I want to make sure, the reason I did that is I want to make sure that when you find your new X2, when I find my new value, I want to make sure it still fits on the ramp, and I think this will do that. And then I go through this process. You'll probably take more room because you need to you'll show all your work on this because there's not multiple trials, there's only one trial. And I found my new X, and then that's where I released the ball bearing, and it actually turned out the first time, I'll be honest, the first time I did it, my data was way off, so I redid it and was a little more careful, and I got pretty good results. So if your first time you drop it, it's all messed up, try it again and see if that was just an aberration. Hopefully we can get some below 10% quality data on this one. But the big thing is to understand the process of how all this works. This is a multi-step problem, which is really good to show your understanding of the physics. Good luck.